On this matter, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us, man, there is nothing, we are starving. We should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join Opeyemi Akinyode as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership. Every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you in minutes as we discuss the situations.
Oga Police, no worry, I see you. You know you can do the right thing, right? You know you can do without that bribe. You know you don't even have to harass that young man because he is properly dressed. And you think he's a Yahoo boy? You don't even have to assault that citizen whom you have sworn an oath to protect. Yes, we understand that the pay is not good enough to take you home. That you are still wearing a uniform that you bought with your own money 5 years ago. It's no news that the government has not done enough by you. We feel your pain and we wish things could be different as we continue to call on government to wake up to their responsibilities. We want the police to be our friends, just as it is boldly stated across the various police stations nationwide. And from Mainland 98.3 FM, we implore you to do better. We love you and we support you always.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to the Situation Room, live on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Apologies for starting a bit behind schedule. I was just trying to fully establish our contact with our guest, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication, Plateau State, Honorable Musa Ashoms, joins us on the show today via phone. And then we're going to be discussing the unfortunate incident that happened in the state last week, Friday, the collapse at the Saint Academy School at Busabuji that led to the death of about 22 people, students of that school, and leaving score of people injured. Well, the commissioner joins us today to tell us about all of the effort of the governor of the state, Governor Caleb Mufwang, to reach out to the families of the deceased and the people that are still receiving treatment at the various hospitals in the state. Well, you're welcome to the show. It's a Tuesday edition, and we get to do this every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. We'll talk about this situation, and the situation that we're going to be focusing on today, like I said, is the regrettably an unfortunate situation that happened in Jos, the capital of Plateau State, last week Friday. Remember on the show last week Friday, I had a couple of people join me on the show. Two of them had, their family members involved. In fact, one of them actually had 3 of his siblings involved in that unfortunate incident. But the good part of his own testimony is that none of his siblings, was killed in that unfortunate building collapse. Of course, we had, Comrade Steve Aluko also joining me on the show from just last week Friday to, give us updates on that. But today, we choose to hear it from the horse's mouth himself, the spokesman, and the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communications for Plateau State, Honorable Musa Ashoms, joins me from Jos, the capital of Plateau State. Honorable Commissioner, good evening, and thank you for having you, join us back in Lagos again.
Thank you very much, Opeyemi Akinyode, for having me.
So let's get straight to the conversation. First off, on behalf of every one of us on Mainland FM, I want to yet again, extend condolence to the families of the affected students at Saint Academy in Busabuji, Jos, and the people of Plateau State and the government of Plateau State as well. We extend our heartfelt condolences to everyone involved, affected one way or the other in that unfortunate incident on Friday morning.
Thank you very much. We want to thank Nigerians for the show of love and solidarity. We've received calls, we've received condolence letters from all walks of life, from all nooks and crannies of Nigeria, and we take it as an act of God, in as much as there was some level of complacency from the owners of this school. Because without being a professional, you realize that the building doesn't appear strong, it doesn't appear solid. And we were told from reliable sources that it had shown signs that it was going to collapse. It was just waiting for the day of collapse. And like Nigerians, like the people that we are that are very, very complacent, we allowed it, came and it passed. It's quite unfortunate that we had to lose youngsters because of people's negligence. And if they had reported, the school would have been sealed. We recall that we have the Executive Order 003, which allows people to bring their plans to the Jos Metropolitan Development Board before they erect structures. And even if the structures are erected, you're supposed to bring your plan to the GMDB so that we'll see whether your building is condonable or is non-condonable, so that you'll be advised by professionals appropriately. But people like to circumvent process and procedures. There are ethics, codes, and protocols in building. If you are building in Lagos, it's not the same material you use in Jos, for example. So this unfortunate act has happened, and as a government, we are saddened by it, and we pray that it doesn't occur again.
And it's basically about accountability and respect for human lives, which is part of the responsibility of the government at every level. So we always pray that such would not happen again. Condolence messages have also been pouring in from the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Honorable Minister of Education, Honorable Tari Maman. In fact, the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Student Matters, Sunday Ashefon, was in Jos yesterday, to pay some condolence visits, if the Minister of Women Affairs as well. But in all, when you heard that incident, by the way, let me quickly put this story out. Where that school is just a couple of buildings away from where I stayed in Busabuji in all of my postgraduate years. In fact, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Honorable Commissioner, when we're not on Let's Talk, I'm at home, and so I'm always dancing to the songs when they're on the assembly ground in the morning. That's how close the school is to me. It's just about 4 or 5 buildings. I stay almost directly behind the Josiah Road new stadium there. So it's a place I'm quite conversant with. It's a school that I know of very, very well. In all of these, Honorable Commissioner for Information, where do we turn to from here? Lives have been lost. A lot of those students will probably live with those trauma for the rest of their life, the ones that survived. We heard reports that some of them would probably have some, disabilities and all of that. What has been the response of the governor of Plateau State, or let me say the government of Plateau State, since Friday till now?
I talked to you about Executive Order 003, which looks about vehicular movement, and we talked about buildings and their plans, and we have a formidable GMDB. It's just that this was not reported. We would have demolished it. We have history of demolishing buildings on waterways. So this is not an exemption.
So is that the next line of action? I heard that
is the actual line of action, not next. It has been there. It's just that the building was not reported. It's just that this particular building was not reported. It's not the next line of action. It's the line of action. The executive order took effect on the 10th of June.
10th of June. Okay. Well,
it took effect on the 10th of June, and we have asked even those that have structures already to bring their plans so that they will be advised by professionals. You know, the major problem we have is that people will build bungalows. When their schools grow, they don't look at the structure, they don't look at the beam, they don't look at the columns, they will just add other layers.
Without fortifying the foundation.
Yes, without strengthening the foundation. You know, you cannot just do things like that. And it's one of those things that we're advocating for. You know, he said to people started listening the executive order 003 to parochial interest. They will tell you it's because certain persons are not allowed to stay in the city. It's because you feel these persons have not built their house properly. Yes, you know, there was a Morocco in Lagos. Some people that became negotiants in the last 10, 15 years do not know whether there was anything called Morocco. It is history today. So we cannot be building slums in 2024. Cities are coming out. We have old London and new London. You have current structures, current architectures. You have beautiful cities all over the world. And you know our weather here, when you have beautiful structures, it is going to be a perfect combination. And when you have a governor that has seen a lot of things, that has done a lot of things, it's unfair for us to begin to have this kind of building collapse on the plateau. We have a lot of land. This is not Lagos where you will find it difficult to have land because of the coastal nature, or Abuja where lands have become very expensive. It is interesting to know that local government layout on the plateau is sold for 700,000 naira, not far from Rayfield. There are communities that you go to in Jos that you buy land for 300,000. Even the Rayfields that you think is expensive is not as expensive as places that are on the mainland in Lagos. The most expensive land in Jos, I don't think is up to 200 million naira. It means you're going to buy a lot of acres. But for a man to have a 3-bedroom apartment, it's affordable. We're not saying everybody can afford all of that, but you can build simple houses, common houses with little resources, but you must be advised appropriately. But people just feel when they have money, they'll go to the building material market, purchase materials, and say, make my kitchen here, my bedroom here, 2 parlors here and there. You know, when people go to schools to study certain courses, it is because they will add value to our lives. That is why they are courses in the first place. We have a functional university in Jos, we have Polytechnic, we have College of Education, we have School of Higher Learning, we even have College of Soil Science, Lands and Survey or stuff like that. People are supposed to get samples of your soil, of your land, so that they will advise you appropriately on the kind of structure to erect on it. Maybe you have to do a shallow foundation if it's solid and rocky, or you have to go deeper, 6 or 7 feet. It depends on the advice that you get from professionals. But people don't like to use professionals. Sometimes when they have money, that is really motivation. They don't even use semi-professionals, people that have been in the field for a long time.
They don't get the boys to go to sites
at all. They rather use quacks or they do the thing by themselves. That's why we're having this kind of situation. You recall that place, the land was reclaimed. It was a mining site in the first instance. When you build at a mining site, you're supposed to dot the I's and cross the T's. You're supposed to have a solid foundation. Or in the first place, there are plenty places that you can substitute. But when people take advantage of communities because of the population explosion and they build schools, it's a good one that you have schools in some kilometers away from every community so that people will have access to education. But you must be concerned about the environment. You must be concerned about a lot of things outside numbers and letters.
Thank you very much. Well, the governor of Plateau State, His Excellency Governor Caleb Mutfwang, declared 3 days mourning to just empathize with the families that have been affected. But beyond that, what other measures have been put in place to reach out to the affected families from Friday till now, Honorable Commissioner?
All the people that were affected were evacuated to the hospitals at government posts. The governor took care of their health needs, of their bills. It will interest you that a lot of people have passed through MRI scan, X-ray, and CT scan to ascertain the level of injury they've sustained. And as a government, that is what we've done so far. All the medical bills have been taken care of by us. And this is exam season. So the SS3 students are not in school that day. That is why the casualty figure begin to skyrocket. So they've been given schools where they can write their exams so that they finish well. And again, we need to give them some therapeutic, and we need to have some therapeutic engagement with them. Imagine that in school that you wrote 3 or 4 papers, you're coming and you have a sad story that people have been killed by that structure because it collapsed. So basically, those are the issues we're taking first things first.
Okay, those are reach out measures. Let's talk about punitive measures. I watched the interview done by the principal of the school, and he was talking about the fact that they didn't know it was going to get this bad. In fact, I've watched quite a lot of conversation with survivors, relatives, a couple of audio messages flying around, but in terms of holding people accountable so that instances like this will not repeat itself again, lead us into that conversation, Honorable Commissioner for Information.
That principal, my brother Opeyemi, was invited by the police for interrogation. It will interest you to know that once you have this kind of accident, you go to the police to report. Nobody from that school has gone to the police to report until they were invited. The governor was in the UK. He landed that very day, and when this gory story sprang up, he had to come back and abandon whatever took him to the UK, and he returned back to Nigeria and Jos to commiserate with families, to empathize with families as chief mourner. But it will interest you to know that as at day before yesterday, nobody from that school showed up either to apologize to parents or to take responsibility. Instead, the principal was trying to cover his job. So because of that, he was invited by the police. And we were told that the owner of the school has traveled to the east, because they said the original owner is late. That's the wife of the man that has inherited the school. And we said if it were an inheritance issue, they would have gone to court to say we're the owners. But because of their complacency, because of their negligence, lives were lost. About 22%, children and their teachers. And it will interest you to know, Opeyemi, that there's a case of some twins. One of them died. The other one has spinal cord issues. It's pathetic. How would you have children and all you need to do is just to take them to the hospital and begin to give them treatment for a time that you don't know when it will elapse? But we are praying that the Almighty God is going to heal them completely. He's going to make their case different since they survived this issue. We are praying and hoping that God is going to heal them. And it will interest you to know that even doctors, nurses, health practitioners that were on leave or were not on duty reported on that day to save lives. And you recall that on that day, the chief imam of Jos died and he was to be buried. It was from the burial ground on Zaria Road, not far from the Jos Zaria Road stadium, that the 8th group of Jamaat al-Nasri Islam heard about the collapse. From there, they moved straight to the point of to the incident site, and we were very, very helpful. They were of help in evacuating these victims to the hospitals. The fire service were on ground, NEMA, SEMA, civil defense, police, army, vigilante, neighborhood watch, and communities surrounding Busabuji all came out en masse. And as a government, we are happy with that show of solidarity and unity. And we are praying that without any carnage, without any problem, our people will be united just like they were when this incident happened, so that our people will grow together as a team and will grow together as a state in the interest of posterity and our humanity.
Thank you very much. I need to admit at this point, I followed the whole, events when it broke in the morning, and a lot of credit needs to go to the, health respondents, all of the doctors, the emergencies, the ambulances, even construction companies had to move in their excavators to site, just to aid, all of this process. But more than all of this, what have we learned from this unfortunate situation? I mean, these are not instance like this is not exactly something you get to hear every time on the plateau. I'm with you.
It will interest you to know that schools that had cracks that the parents didn't report because of this incident, if you're on radio or you're in your office, they will call you and tell you the name of the school without mincing words. They will call you and say, if you go to Gada and Wanjarawa, the school that my child attends has cracks. You better come to our rescue. If you go to Al-Gadama, if you come to behind Plateau Riders, they will just be calling them. They've reported over 20 schools as we speak now that they have cracks, that we should come and test the integrity of the building. So this is an eye-opener. People will not want to lose their loved ones. You know, when the executive order 003 came, people were listening with a lot of sentiments, with parochialism, with religiosity, with tribalism and all of that. Today, there is no community that has issues with its building that is not reporting. So it is an eye-opener. There are even the ones that are saying that the executive order 003 should come to effect. It should take its bite. It should get its root in doing what it is meant for. And we are happy that the people are beginning to understand that the intent of government is to recalibrate the JMDB to do its work, which is an extant. It will interest you to know, Opeyemi, if you go to JMDB, you find a document that someone was going to change his door in the year 1940. He wrote to the JMDB asking them that he is asking for permission to change his door from this kind of door to that kind of door. You understand? And we're in 2024. People will use one plot of land to build 6 houses. It's a sign that we are just going to have open defecation. It is a sign that they cannot build, sewages in their houses. They cannot build sewages because on the rocks, how do you dig? You know, if you go to Mina, the rock is where you find rich people. It's called Hilltop, where you have the IBBs, you have the Abdusalam Abubakar, the Gaduna School, and people that have made money. They can take their sewage down 1 kilometer away from the home. They have the resources to do that. They can even be creative and do certain stuff. But here you find people creating slums unnecessarily, people building without permission, and when you talk, they see it as your means of impoverishing people. But today we are happy that the people on their own are understanding that there is a need for a city to be planned. If you come to some communities in Jos, trailers can maneuver within a street. Those were communities that were built in the 70s and 80s. Then we are in 2024, when AI is taking over, when people can do a lot of things, instead of us to create space. This is not Abuja that they sell land in square meters. They will not say, okay, 600 square meters. You can buy plenty plots. You can have access to it. And you know, we will not use at least 30% of the greater Jos master plan. There are a lot of spaces that we can build. But people are choking communities. They're making the claimant weather not to be claimant anymore. And you know, we are having climate change. You know, the climate change is affecting everywhere. So we need to plan our city. We need to make it beautiful. We need to build houses that will not expose our children to danger. Imagine that you teach your child in the morning or your ward to go to school around 8 o'clock. Then by 10:30, he's a dead man. He's a dead child. You know, you never forgive yourself because of complacency, because someone somewhere refused to perform their duty. So as a government, we frown against that. We are bitter by this sad scenario that has happened. We are hoping that it doesn't happen again. And we must be proactive. We cannot fold our arms and allow things to happen. Then people begin to commiserate with us, or begin to mobilize SEMA and NEMA. Then journalists like you begin to ask us response time. It did take us 1 hour, it did take us 30 minutes, who died. We don't want to story.
You took that away from my mouth, Honorable Commissioner, because that was where I was going to next. In terms of the response time, I talked about the fact that, you know, there were a lot of, people pouring in just to make sure that they're able to rescue as much as they can. But we also saw, people pulling, rods manually, young people taking off their clothes and digging deep. The fact that we lost 22 people, could these have been lesser if there were maybe quicker response rather than having to wait for companies around to move excavators? Should the government be more responsible?
It wouldn't have happened if they had followed building codes and ethics and protocol in the first instance. It wouldn't have happened if the building didn't collapse. You know, as a government, we're not expecting our buildings to just collapse like that. That is not the expectation of any sensible and reasonable government. And you see, interventions and rescue come in layers. But this is one of the quickest as far as I know in this country. Like I told you, the distance between the cemetery around Zaria Road to where this incident happened, is just a stone throw. When the chief imam was laid to go into the ground, that was about the time that the building collapsed. So we had layers of intervention. The Nigerian army, I don't know how they did it before you could say Jack Robinson, they also on site. So people will not wait for excavators to come before they will even start their own part. Like first aid is in different layers. If something happens in your house, there are first aid procedures that you will take before calling on doctors. You will not wait until doctors come. You will lose a lot of people. You will lose your loved ones. Even at home, people are taught how to take first aid steps. So when this happened, the people on ground first will have to begin to intervene before miners and contractors, roadside contractors came in with the excavators. If you check at that vicinity, we had 6 excavators. I can't remember any construction site on the plateau that had 6 excavators. Apart from other equipment from the fire service, the number of ambulances from the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, from the police, from the fire service, from CAN, from JNI, and you can see that a lot of persons came out. At the end of we had to bring public address system to allow people to move to create more casualties. Because as they were excavating, other structures standing were shaking. It tells you that the buildings were haphazardly done. And in the interest of our tomorrow, we have asked people to go to the Jos Metropolitan Development Board with their building plans so that they will dot the I's and cross the T's with relevant agencies, with trained people, with professionals, so that we'll avert this kind of occurrences.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. Now, away from the unfortunate incident that happened, there's been a lot of work being done on the plateau in terms of development. You talked about the order 003. Big shout out to the general manager of the GMBD as well. GMDB rather, he's been doing an amazing job. But talk to us about plateau at the moment. It seems we're enjoying some form of relative peace. Take us through where we are right now before we say our goodbyes, so that today is not just about the negative story.
And I'm happy. Today, God has blessed us with a beautiful state, and He has given us a wonderful governor, a man who understands leadership, a man who is ready to take Plateau State to at least where it deserves to be, a man who has seen it all. If Plateau were to be a book, I will say he has read it over and over from cover to cover. This is a man that has a template for development. This is a man that came with a manifesto that will change the narrative on the plateau. If you come to the Plateau State of Opeyemi, you will see that we are trying to have the special agri processing zone, SAPZ, which will be sponsored or funded by the African Development Bank to the tune of $300 million. Once you insert $300 million into any economy in Nigeria, you will see the effects. You will see what it will do to the economy. And that's not the only thing we're doing. We've had investors from the US, from Germany, from Turkey, from the UK. In fact, our governor was in the UK when this ugly incident happened. It's for him to have an interface with some investors that are interested in the agri sector of our economy. And it's interesting to know that when we stepped in, we cultivated 900 hectares of land. That's in the first 3 months that we came into power. Today, we have cultivated 6,000 hectares of land as a government, so that we will boost the agricultural economy and climate of our state, so that our people will enjoy the dividends of democracy. We have even, in collaboration with the youths, there is a farm that has been abandoned for a long time. It is called the Bark Farm, BARC. It's in Basa local government in Zandaki. The Plateau Youth Council, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Plateau State, have cultivated 1,000 hectares. We are hoping that we're going to have bumper harvest. And again, if you come to the Air Force Base in Jos, you will see trailers of fertilizer, because we had distributed 240 trucks of fertilizer in the past. So we want to complement it so that people will do we give the farms the last application before the harvest season, so that we'll have bumper harvest. And we have exposed 20 youths from each local government to new agricultural skills. We have given them a new agricultural template so that whatever they are doing will be boosted. We took them to SCC farms along Kefi Abuja Road, where they were exposed to new techniques, to new ways of doing agriculture. And we are hoping that they're going to get loans from the Bank of Agric, so it will boost their agri-businesses. So as a government, if you just come to the agri sector alone, you know that we've done well. And very, very soon, since our late sage, J.D. Gomok of Blessed Memory, our leader, built the J.D. Gomok Secretariat, which houses about 70% of our ministries on the plateau, no single structure has been added to it. We're trying to have a magnificent Ministry of Justice that will house almost everybody in the judicial sector. And again, if we come to the area of commerce, we are having a public-private partnership to build a grain market in Mangu, where our people will go to get their grains. You recall that grains leave Mangu to as far as Mali and Burkina Faso. You recall that our Irish potato travel from Bokos, from Mangu, from Mbari to as far as Burkina Faso and Mali. Sometimes when you come to our market, you find Europeans struggling to buy goods. So it is a sign that we need to improve all of that. And we are looking at the possibility of taking out the building material market from its present location to where the police staff college is, just before Marraban Jama in Kuru, where we'll have a beautiful market. Because the Jos main market, when it started, the population of Jos was around 300,000. Today we are in a million.
Yes.
So the essence of having the market in one location is almost like defeated. But we're looking at making it a shopping complex. All of that is being looked into. And again, we have public-private partnership because we have ordered that heavy equipment shouldn't be passing through the city center from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. From 5:59 a.m. to 8:59 p.m. You can pass by 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. So there is a need for them to have a trailer parks where our people can enjoy from the Zaria flank, from the Abuja flank, and of course from the Bauchi flank. So that when they come, they will have a conducive place to park their trailers, a place that is secured, a place that is safe. So that when the city centers open by 9 o'clock, nothing is going to affect you. Your life is not going to be threatened. Your goods are not going to be stolen and all of that. So we are trying to make our city beautiful. We recall Opeyemi that we are also harping on e-governance. We can have our state executive council meeting via Zoom, via electronic means. And a lot of things are happening. At the wildlife park, not long ago, what do you call this animal?
One of the hyena escaped.
Yes, our hyena escaped. In the past, when in the last government, a lion escaped, it was shot and it was killed. In our own case, the hyena was gotten alive. They just used tranquilizers, and it didn't die. And we brought it back to its own base. And we're interested to know that we have lit the place. We have brought in solar system, and we are going to fence the place in the interest of in Africa, apart from one park in Kenya and the Jos Wildlife Park, you don't have urban and center wildlife parks anymore. So we're going to secure the environment. The fencing is going to take 10 months, and the contract has been awarded. And again, Akresal has sunk boreholes, so that our 4 boreholes in the wildlife park, so that the access to water will not be a problem to our animals. And you recall that the Hill Station Hotel, we have entered into public-private partnership that will go up 7.8 billion naira, so that we bring it back to life. Because you recall, if not for the coastal nature of Lagos, and because it was our capital in the past, it is only Lagos that had more Europeans and Americans than Jos in the 70s and 80s. And all of that is waning because of our predicament. But we're trying to bring back our city. We're trying to make it a smart city. We're trying to see how a lot of things will be fixed. And you recall not long ago, the Nigerian Army had its Nigerian Army Day celebration, NATCEL, in Jos. You recall that the Chief of Air Staff was also in Jos. So our security has improved, our security is stable, and we're praying that more investors will come in. If you come to our government house, you will see that we're receiving international investors, international visitors. who are trying to see what they can do on the plateau. There are a lot of things that people can benefit from plateau. Come and invest on the plateau and you enjoy your dividends and you'll enjoy your peace, you'll enjoy our food, you'll enjoy our weather because there's no place in Nigeria that has our kind of weather. And of course, the hospitality of our people is top notch.
Well, before I let you go, Plateau State is one of the states that currently don't have democratically elected local government chairman. So, when the Supreme Court judgment was given last week to further confirm the autonomy of local governments, in Nigeria, Plateau State unfortunately is under caretaker committee chairman. What are the plans to conduct local government elections on the plateau going forward? Does the state want to continue to deny itself the right to earn from the federation account to further develop the people?
Opeyemi, elections have processes and procedures. You must give 90 days notice before you do your primaries, before any other things happen. So the 9th of October, from 9 a.m. to 3 o'clock, elections will be conducted at the local government levels, and we will have a democratically elected local government chairman.
9th of October?
9 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
I guess that's an exclusive for us.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
So, let's talk about it. What do you make of that judgment in terms of, local government autonomy, local government chairman, now having receiving their funds directly from the federation accounts? A lot of people have received it with, a lot of energy, positivity. I'm sure Comrade Steve Aluko, the director of Civil Liberties Organization. He joined me on the show last week, Friday, and he celebrated it like a major win. A lot of people have also shared some pessimism around it. What's your take on that judgment?
Let me speak as a citizen of Nigeria. If the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu government has not done anything, it has given us wiki in the FCT and it has given local government autonomy. On the plateau, local government enjoyed autonomy to a large extent. So it's not a new thing for us. It is not something that is perturbing us. It is something that we welcome with the whole of our chest. So it is a plus. It is now left for the people to vote for people that will manage their commonwealth at that level. Because you cannot just come and make somebody receive 300 million naira and after seeing the alert from the federal allocation, run mad. So you must bring people that have capacity. You must translate into development at the local government level so that people will not say, what is the difference? So the onus is on those that will be saddled with responsibility at that level. Because everyone belongs to a local government. Everyone at the end of the day belongs to a ward and a unit. So once you empower those that will handle those places and they do the right thing, Nigeria will develop. This is 2024. If you go to some local government in Nigeria, you wonder why it was created in the first instance. And the idea behind creating local government is to bring government closer to the people. And sometimes the local government chairmen make local government to go further from the people. So we are hoping that this initiative by the federal government, especially by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, by Barrister Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is going to translate into development in Nigeria. For us on the plateau, our 17 local government chairmen, if you interview them, will tell you that they've enjoyed some level of autonomy. And now that it has become law, our governor is a lawyer, is a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is a senior member of the bar, adhering to law, to judgment is not an issue. It has never been an issue, to never be an issue. So for us as plateau people, this is a great feat, and we welcome it, and we accept it with all the seriousness that it deserves.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication, Plateau State, and Honorable Musa Ashoms, for joining me on the show today. I've seen how much work you've been doing in terms of, selling the message of your principle and ultimately the good people of Plateau State. It's quite unfortunate that in the midst of this, sweet song that we've been getting from the state in the past few months, the Friday incident happened. And I'm glad the fact that the governor has said that everyone that is complicit in all of this would be made to face the law, and I'm really happy that judgment to be taken so that in the nearest future, people will choose to be responsible and not choose to play, hanky-panky with the lives of the people that are supposed to be the future of this country. Once again, Right Honorable Commissioner, accept our condolence, and on behalf of every one of us here, we say, be strong, be good, and God will continue to give you the strength to lead the people of Plateau State right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless Plateau State.
You're live on Mainland FM. In case you're just tuning in, I just had a conversation with the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication from the state, Honorable Musa Ashoms. We talked about the unfortunate incident that happened last week Friday, the building collapse that led to the death of about 22 students of that school, and leaving a whole lot of other people are also injured. But the good news is that as at yesterday, when I was monitoring the update on that, about 60 something of the victims admitted in the hospital have been released, and the ones that have been in critical conditions have been moved to more hospitals that can take care of their emergency needs. It's quite unfortunate, especially when you look at the fact that young people are involved. These are kids that probably just want to get an education for themselves. They have families that have more people involved in this. In fact, on Friday, if you listen to the show, I had someone join me all the way from Jos on Friday via phone, and he had 3 of his siblings affected, but fortunately for him, all of them were rescued alive. Unfortunately for 22 other students, the ultimate price was paid. But the governor had released statements, and you just heard from the Honorable Commissioner for Information saying that everyone involved in that sabotage, because that's exactly how you want to interpret it. There are reports that there have been warnings, signs that the building was no longer strong. It was originally supposed to be a story building, but because of expansion and then maybe greed on the part of the proprietors, they decided to double up on the building, take it to a 3-story building, and then they probably refused to fortify the foundation. The government is also part of this blame. I mean, I've been to Jos. I've been privileged to stay in Jos. I can tell you for a fact that there are not up to 2,000 high-rise buildings in Jos. I'm talking about from 2-story buildings upward. So if the government is really interested in keeping the people safe, and the whole idea of the Jos Metropolitan Development Board is key, there should have been some integrity tests conducted randomly on some of those buildings. It's common sense. There should have been some integrity tests conducted on some of those buildings, especially buildings that are used for public services, complexes, hospitals, schools, malls. There should have been random. Like I said, I'm not sure all of the 2-story, 3-story buildings that are within the Jos metropolis is up to 2,000, or maybe it can't be up to 2,000. That's the fact. So the government would also have to be responsible in taking a share of this blame. But the most important thing is that the families that have been affected, some of these families would live with this issue for the rest of their lives. I just hope that they're strong enough to keep going, and the people would continue to do the right things. Whether the principal turns himself in or not, the proprietor travels to one place and decides to stay there. I'm sure that somewhere in your mind, you would know that you need to come out and be responsible for that unfortunate incident that happened on Friday. Well, we'll also continue to pray that God would grant the families the fortitude to bear the loss. It's a short conversation with the Honorable Commissioner, so you can join us 0913-600-0410. The local government autonomy conversation is not going down with a whole lot of people. The Oyo State Governor 괡ɪᴜᴜ Akinyode, has reportedly been on the head of the Tinubu administration, saying, "Hey, you're not bigger than the states. You cannot tell us what to do at our state. Even the former governor of Ekiti State, Governor Adelefayose, had come out to say that the local government autonomy is impossible to achieve because you cannot separate the mother from the children. Well, there's been strokes and folks to this conversation, but you can also join in 0913-600-0410. Good for us. The conversation opens up quite early today. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Mr. Opey, good evening.
You're welcome, Mr. Alaba.
Yeah, Alaba is my name.
Good to have you join us.
Yeah, the sad incident that happened in Jos is quite unfortunate, and you should know that kind of something is avoidable. Go and check very well. Most of the sad incidents that happens to us in Nigeria, they are avoidable because they are man-made. We certify. Don't forget that building is a public building. It's a government building. Some people will certify that building. Somebody will be the contractor of that building. Somebody from government office will go there to certify the material used to build that building.
It's quite unfortunate. It's not even a new building, and exactly
that's right. That's what I want to say. Go and check very well. When you see the rubble, you find out that he just painted this building, and you find out that building is not a new building.
It's not a new building.
See, there are a lot of it. Expect more. This is not a cause. Expect more to happen in this country because some of these buildings. Look at the buildings that are just falling in Ireland these days. Even some of these buildings are 100 years building, 80 years building. What are the foundations? So some of the things that are happening to us in this country are man-made. And government has an elite. When I say government has an elite, there are some people that go from government office to go and certify the materials used to build those buildings. So it's only God that does the make for us. That's why if I want to, I do tell people, I cannot live in a house that is more than a story building. I do tell my family, house that is more than a story building, I cannot live there. I prefer to live in house in a bungalow than living in a two-story building that will tell me or that will short life, that will short my life. So it's very unfortunate. I sympathize with the people of Plateau State and sympathize with the family of them and that love their life. I'm going to check very well. Most of these people that you see that they didn't love their life, they will come to become a normal human being again. Either one hand, one leg, one eye, but I've leave them to go. So God will continue to be with the family. That love their life. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alabalakwe. Thank you for joining us. 0913-600-0410. You can join the conversation. I just had a chat with the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication from Plateau State, Honorable Musa Ashoms, and he gave us the exclusive that on the 9th of October 2024, local government elections will be conducted in the states. That's an exclusive. Well, however way you want to look at it, like I said, a lot of people are not exactly comfortable with the Supreme Court judgment, but hey, a lot of people have felt like, you know what, it is the desire of the people to be truly independent. Mr. Adisa, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. On the Plateau issue is very sad in the sense that innocent children are actually involved. But what I also notice that we as citizens too, we also call people, assuming that maybe the governor or the government demolished that building before the incident. People would have still complain that they are sympathetic to the plight of the people and so on like that. But now see what has happened. Now back to the issue of autonomy. Our governors, they are hypocrites. Look at 쏘괰ᴛᴇʀ M소ɪR complaining bitterly, saying that the federal government is not superior to the state. So does that mean the state is superior to the local government? If that is not an argument. And also, if he is saying that it's not it's not his salary and so on like that, so is it also fair for the federal government to withhold state allocation and be paying state workers directly. So they should be say that, oh, we are using your money very well. So they should allow those people to do it. Let them let the development at the grassroots. There's no way a government at the center will be able to know everything that's happening. It looks and sounding on this thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. Layola Komi talking to us on Facebook, and it says you should ask your guest why delay local government election till October on the platform. My guest just told me that provisions to it, there has to be 90 days notice before local government elections will be conducted. Is that something you wake up to? The parties will have to open up nomination forms, conduct their primaries. The State Independent Electoral Commission would have to be set up. That had been done actually. He said, do they have elected chairman and councillors in place as we're talking? No, they have caretaker committee chairman. PLASEC, like other states, would certainly conduct a charade, and the ruling party will take all of that come October. I'm very sure that the shenanigans and the impunity of our state governors would soon come to permanent end by the time INEC takes over the conduct of local government election. The worst election conducted by INEC cannot be compared with that conducted by SEC. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Kenny from Mushin.
Mr. Kenny, good to have you join us on the show.
Hello, okay. The issue of associate very, very pathetic. I sympathize with the family of this innocent chap, and I pray for the post of their soul, and I pray to God to have take the parent the fortitude to bear the inequality love. The problem is man-made, as other people have said, make their own contribution. Government officials, particularly on the land, physical land, they are the most culpable in all these atrocities. It happens in all those states, in every state. If they go on inspection, when money exchange hands, then they will certify that those buildings are still standing strong. Yes, they are not. That's what happened. Pray God to Almighty God put an end to this kind of incident. On the issue of the local government, our governors, local government financial autonomy, our governors are hypocrites. It's like they are taking what they have been eating from them. That's why they are all complaining bitterly. Look at Pʟᴜᴜ, even though he's like an ex-governor, or even saying on China television that it's not possible, they will not have autonomy because it's not easy to take away the child from the mother. Can you imagine someone that is not in power? Compare for somebody that is in power. If some are even saying they are taking body off them, why are they complaining? If so, they are taking body off them. But as it is now, the only fly of the chairman to be able to know what they are doing. Anyone, the governors have autonomy. I mean, they have what do they call it? Immunity. That's why they are behaving the way they are behaving. The chairman of local government has no immunity as far as constitution is concerned. Any one of them who allow their governor to manipulate them, they are going to do it because they can be picked up by an office. They do rubbish with the local government money.
Thank you.
That's it. Have a lovely day.
And you too, have a beautiful evening. Thank you for joining the conversation. 0913-600-0410. I'll take my first break in the next 4 minutes or thereabouts to take the headline news and also quickly pay some bills. Then when I come back, I'll continue to pick your calls. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Oh, you're welcome. Ogabelu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you.
And you too.
Yes. My name is Madam Belosu. You know, as far as I'm concerned, this is my opinion. Nigeria today belongs to every one of us, but there are some people that believe that Nigeria belongs to only few of them, and they are just few among the millions of Nigerians. The worst enemy of this country, as far as I'm concerned, are state governments. But the judgment of the Supreme Court has brought the impunity of the 13 state governors to an end. Why am I saying this? Because all 32 state governors have put local government into their pockets. And this local government is the most lazy government of the people, of which we can hold them accountable than even governor. As far as I'm concerned, if there's anything to be dissolved, like government used to dissolve local government chairman between two 1 year, if there's anything to be dissolved, as far as I'm concerned, it's supposed to be governor. That president should be dissolved like that, because I don't know the importance of state governor. I don't know that. Not for me. I
understand what you're saying.
Yes. I don't know the importance of state government. Even sometimes, if I sit down and we look at my, I don't even know what, I don't even remember if I thought I have state governor, because I don't know the person. You understand? Then the election of local government should not be conducted by state electoral commission. It should be held by national electoral commission, because if we leave the election of local government in the state, the party power in that state will still take it all as it used to be now. Because if you go to some state that PDP or APC or whatever is govern, if they conduct local government elections,
it's always a winner takes all.
Yes, thank you very much. But no matter how what is the National Electoral Commission, it can never be compared to that of state. So that is that. And the president should stop awarding, giving a relief to state government, because the first bill, 2 billion given to the state government as a palliative, nobody sees it. And today is giving 20 truck to eat it. Even in my village where I come from, if you give 20 truck of food to my village where I come from, it will not even take that. It will not even take them up to 1 month. So what are we talking about? The government will just do this to themselves and their friends. At the end of the day, they will tell you that they have changed it. The man should stop making all these mistake upon mistake. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. It seems we're gradually turning into a palliative economy, and I totally understand. Sometimes these things can be tough in terms of leadership and decision-making pressures left and right, but as a leader, you have to be decisive and you have to be intentional about fixing the challenges of your people. And when I saw the news of the mobilization of trucks of bags of rice to states, and I'm like, on what basis? How would they be shared? Can we trust that these things would not just be shared around within party faithfuls, or make it an all PDP or Labour Party or APC family affairs? Can you trust? How do you reach the poorest of the poor, as you always want to explain them? Do we have database to know? How do you want to share it? I mean, these are issues that needs to be critically looked into. Beyond just putting all of these things out, it's something that the governors need to be intentional about. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll pick your calls and I'll read more of your messages. It's the Social Room Live on Mila 98.3 FM. My name is Opeyemi Akinyode. I'll be right back.
In your market become more and more crowded. It's time to break it open and really stand out. Broken Air is here
on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline news on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. Pro-Fubara lawmakers counter Emmewuli gives governor go-ahead to spend government funds. Kogi SEC fixes October 19th for local government elections. Port refinery to begin operations in early August, says NNPC boss Mele Kyari. Nigeria repatriates 190 citizens from UAE. On the foreign scene, Rwandan President Kagame clinches 99% of votes to extend 24-year rule as president. In sports, Gareth Southgate resigns as England manager after second consecutive European Championship final defeat. That's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's why anytime where they cook like this, I dey always season am with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatashe, shombo, onions. No one wey I no dey put. Na im make my pikin dem dey always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You see?
Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season am with no cubes for that ogbonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Looking for ways to save your data? It starts with your apps. Deleting unused apps helps, but there is more. Most apps have data saver modes. Activate them to control data usage. You can also go to settings to turn off auto updates. Lastly, close unused apps to save data when you ain't using your apps. These changes can make a big difference. For more information, visit your mobile operator's website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for more helpful tips. Stay connected and enjoy smarter data usage. This message is brought to you by the Association of Telecom Operators and Nigerian Communications Commission.
Attention everyone, this is an important message about cholera.
Cholera is a serious disease, but we can stop it together.
Remember to always drink clean, safe water. Boil or treat your water before drinking.
Wash your hands with soap and clean water, especially before eating and after using the toilet.
Cook your food thoroughly and eat it while it is hot.
Keep your surroundings clean and dispose of waste properly.
If you or anyone you know shows symptoms like severe diarrhea or vomiting, seek medical help immediately.
Together, we can beat cholera and keep our community healthy.
This message is brought to you by Mainland 98.3 FM, Lagos. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Find ways to save your data. You go first start out with your apps. Delete apps where you know they use, but other things go still dey. Some apps get data saver modes. Make you activate them to control the data usage. You fit also go your setting, make you off the auto updates them. Then make you also close apps where you know they use to save your data when you know they use your apps. This small change go fit help you save your data well. For more information, make you go your mobile operator website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for better tips. Make we dey connect and enjoy our data use well. This message they come from the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators wey join body with the Nigerian Communication Commission.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's why anytime where they cook like this, I dey always season am with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatashe, shombo, onions. No one wey I no dey put. Na im make my pikin dem dey always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You see?
Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season am with no cubes for that ogbonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Looking for ways to save your data? It starts with your apps. Deleting unused apps helps, but there is more. Most apps have data saver modes. Activate them to control data usage. You can also go to settings to turn off auto updates. Lastly, close unused apps to save data when you ain't using your apps. These changes can make a big difference. For more information, visit your mobile operator's website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for more helpful tips. Stay connected and enjoy smarter data usage. This message is brought to you by the Association of Telecom Operators and Nigerian Communications Commission.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Lagos.
Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us, man, there is nothing. We are starving. We should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join Opeyemi Akinyode as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership. Every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you in minutes as we discuss the situations.
Welcome back. Don't forget that by 5:30 we'll give you the full bulletin of the headline news you just listened to, and by 6 o'clock we'll come around to take you through the world of sports. Major shake-up coming up within the English national team management. Gareth Southgate had decided to walk away. How big a manager has he been for England? And you get all of these by 6 o'clock when Tomiwa and I would always come up to give you stories in the world of sports. But we're back in the Situation Room today, and before we went on that break, I had the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication, Honorable Musa Ashoms, join me from Jos, the capital of Plateau State, to look at the aftermath of the unfortunate building collapse that happened last week Friday, that claimed the life of about 22 students and injured quite a lot of other people. But well, he's talked about the fact that there are punitive measures that will be put in place, and people will be made, to account for the consequences of their negligence, especially with the fact that there's been reports and complaints on that building. Last week Friday, a friend of mine sent a voice note that her younger brother sent to her. The younger brother graduated from the school about a year ago. And the younger brother said they were always making jokes that, make this school no go collapse, make this school no go collapse. So it was a sign that a lot of people saw coming. I know that school very well. I stayed almost, I just sent to the school for about 4 years. And there's a very gully part of that back of the school. Like you heard the Honorable Commissioner said that place used to be a mining site. So imagine building a 3-story building on a mining site, old mining site, where there is like a bridge at the back, and it's not just good. It's not just good. And I just hope that beyond the money and the reach out to the families, I hope the governor will take more punitive actions against the proprietors of that school, so as to serve as a deterrent to everyone that would choose to play with the lives of people in the nearest future, so that they don't get to try it again. Let me get back to the phone lines. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay, you're not ready to talk to us. 0913-600-0410. Let me read your messages. This one says, my name is Festus from Ikorodu. Your guest spoke well, but on the issue of the minimum wage, the governor needs to be careful with how they handle these things, so that the people don't turn against them. Give the money of the locals to the local, and let the people feel the impact of government. Thank you very much, Festus, all the way from Ikorodu, one of my regulars. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good to have you join us on the show today.
Thank you very much. My name is Lawatabi. I'm calling from Sᴜᴜᴜ.
You're welcome.
I really sympathize with the Plateau State. I have a brother, they have to call him, and thank God they're not affected. So I really sympathize with them. I don't know if it's possible, but I just want to react to what was about yesterday.
You see, if I tell you a story now, I don't think you believe me. When I come to Lagos, for anybody to compare Lagos with other parts of the state, it's wrong. When I come to Lagos newly, mid of 80s, my brother, the only language I can speak is only Yoruba. When the people come to my Oga shop, where Oga, I cannot reply. You sabi, I cannot reply. Even the day I tell story to my students, I had to believe me. But today, look at me. But as they go from them who encourage good things, this what that made me. I'm just, like already, I'm just on that road for Uganda. But this is what that made me. Today, me not give me opportunity to speak on here. And you can see the way I'm contributing. Going to compare Lagos landing, I don't know, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. Keep your calls coming in. Well, Lagos is also dealing with his own share of, building collapse. Just a few hours after the one of just happened, there was another building collapse in Abuja, left and right. I think we should have a conversation about standardization here. Maybe we should have people from the regulatory agencies. Let us know the yardstick at which they do some of these things. Hello, good evening, Mr. Olakomi.
Mr. Opeyemi, I'm happy to hear from you this evening.
You're welcome.
I've been sending my message through
Facebook.
Facebook, and I really appreciate you because we normally read a Facebook message. So God will continue to bless you. You are a great man.
Thank you.
In a few minutes now, one will be hearing you you will also be discussing issues related to sports. I always give you kudos for your brilliancy. And God will continue to widen your knowledge and understanding.
Amen. Thank you. Let's join the conversation.
Yeah. That school building that was that collapsed recently, I think it belongs to that school building. It belongs to state government.
No.
Or is it private?
It's private. The name of the school is Saint Academy.
All right. That is just telling us that the agency in charge of building. They need to, a government agency, they need to up their games so as to be carried out integrity tests on buildings that they know that it has been built for quite a while. So on the local government autonomy and the recent landmark judgment of the Supreme Court on local government financial autonomy, I think it's a great one. People like Governor of Oyo State, you can see. They were just trying to show their disdain because they have been taking away the local government funds allegedly. Because if not for that, I don't see reason why we will be saying that it's just a distraction. Distraction that we have 3 tiers of government, and you have the state governors they have killed the local government administration. If truly we have 3 local tiers of government, why can't they allow local government to breathe? That means the state has always been running. They have been running local government through culture data.
Mr. Olakomi, let me explain the plateau situation.
All right.
The current governor of the state, Governor ᴑᴏ, was a local government chairman about 9 years ago.
I know.
He was the chairman of Mongu local government, and so when the immediate past governor of the state, that's Senator Simon Lalong, when he came into government, he dissolved that democratically elected local government chairman, and it affected the current governor. Then he was a local government chairman. In fact, my guest today, the Honorable Commissioner for Information, was the head of all the councillors on the plateau. So the dissolution of that government 9 years ago affected him as a councillor as well.
All right.
So when Governor ᴑᴏ also became governor a year ago, the first thing he did was to also dissolve the democratically elected local government chairman by his predecessor that also dissolved his own election. So you ask, you're playing politics with the lives and the development of the people at the local government level. There was a time when the dissolution was done. I had about 6 or 7 of the affected local government chairmen join us on the show. They went to court. They went to challenge the judgment. The case is still in court. So on the plateau at the moment, their caretaker committee chairman appointed by the government. And by the way, the 8 years of Lalong, I think it's just about a year or less than a year also that has local government chairman. He used caretaker committee chairman as well. Yeah. I just had to quickly bring you up to speed on what exactly is going on in that. And it's typical of other states as well.
Thank you for the education. Now, this Supreme Court judgment, you can see. I heard that Kogi State in your news, brief news, that they want to conduct their own. It has set the governors on panic mode, and they are becoming jittery. So
thank you, Mr. Lakon.
They won't conduct the local government election before the end of this year.
They don't have a choice.
Thank you. Mr. President, you are great. You are a great man.
Thank you very much, and God bless you too. 0913600410. At the end of the day, the power belongs to the people. And that's the point. Whether, irrespective of how you view the Constitution, the interpretation of the Constitution, the power belongs to the people. So the people ask for local government election, and you have to give them. The Commissioner for Information says, for the Plateau State says, on the 9th of October, there will be local government election. For Kogi State, is 19th of the same month. Hello, good evening.
You pick my number. We thank God, though.
Chief Adeon, you're welcome.
How are you? Good evening.
You're welcome.
You know, after this judgment, I told you that my position, and that vis-a-vis the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I said it, and after that, you see that opinion has become widespread. This judgment has scattered. It was moderate thing to say it's a constitution given to us. So what will happen is that to have free local government, autonomous, you have to scatter that constitution and write a fresh constitution. Because as we see, it will remain like this. The state House of Assembly can make law. It remains lawmakers to run local government in different states, in their own states. And the governors, they have the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy is under the Constitution. These are structured in the Constitution. And that was why Ayopayose said, cannot take a baby from the mother. That is the most logical thing. So they need to go away this Constitution and do what the people want. If the people say they want autonomous local government, so be. If they say they don't want, let it be. Because amendment, you see, they pass this thing in the National Assembly, it cannot get into majority at the State Assembly.
Chief Apago, let me ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, ask me.
Is the laws that we have in the country, the Constitution, is it made for the people, or are the people made for the law? Because you made a statement now that if the people says they want this, but the Constitution is very clear. Every single tier of government, that's why they call it federal government, state government, and local government. That means every tier is a government on its own. That is why you go to the polls to elect your local government chairman, just the same way you elected your president, and you elected even your councillors just the same way you elect your House of Assembly members. It's the same function. The councillors are the lawmakers at the local government level, the same way the House of Assembly members are the lawmakers at the state level. So it's a constitutional matter. It's not an emotional matter whatsoever.
Look, I've heard you. Okay. Can you listen to me?
I'm with you.
What we were doing by the military is an aberration. I've been saying it. It's only in Nigeria you have 3 tiers of government.
Okay.
We brought this thing from America, you don't have more than 2 tiers of government. And if you say the federal should be dealing with local government, it means we are not a federation. We should remove that Federal Republic of Nigeria. Federation states are 36 and Federal Capital Territory. And that is what makes us federation. If you are dealing with local government at the federal, we no longer have federation.
Thank you.
Have it.
Thank you, Chief.
The constitution has to be thrown away, and a fresh constitution written to normalize all these anomalies that has been brought by this investment. Good evening.
Thank you very much. 0913600410 is the Situation Room live on Mila 98.3 FM. Hello, Mr. Samuel.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, and you?
Strong man. You are trying. God bless you. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from Mowe.
Okay.
I've been trying you. We listen to you in sports. We don't know whether you are a guru in sports. We listen to you in politics. Which one you there? And you know everywhere. God bless you. You are trying.
Thank
God
you.
will give you strength.
Let's go on.
Okay. For the local government, it's not yet an uhuru. We will not be happy so much because now we are saying state governments are they are stealing money, and state governors are just 36. By the time we have local government, EFCC will pursue over
774 local government chairmen
after a few years, because there will be more chiefs.
Of course, because there's so much money right now.
Because they will be stealing the same money. Why? That is why I say we should not rejoice yet. But the good thing is that those who don't have the means, we can, while they are still in, we can police and
they can be prosecuted.
Yes. As for Jos, I'm very happy in what is happening in Jos. Government development will come. With the Jos we used to know in the 70s and in the 80s, not what it is now. We pray that it go back to what it used to be. And I wish people development. Also,
thank you very much. More messages. So the collapsed school building belongs to the government or the private. It is disheartening and highly repressible that the Plateau State government failed to conduct integrity tests on that building before it finally caved in. The Plateau governor and the other governors that are yet to conduct, even if it is a kangaroo election, are in panic mode now, and they are becoming extremely jittery with the Supreme Court judgment in the local government financial autonomy. Mr. President should continue to seek judicial interpretation on some of the salient issues that has allowed room for impunity and mismanagement on the side of our elected and public officers. State Houses of Assembly also have work to do against any restructuring. Okay, I'm here to sincerely and deeply understand the jubilation behind the Supreme Court granting financial autonomy to the local government, when in the real sense the principal, whom is the mother, is still in charge of the baby. A situation where the governor is still the one that financed state INEC and definitely in charge of selecting anyone that would occupy the office of chairman and councillor after the election. It seems we've forgotten that the typical Nigerian political leader is going into office to first enrich his pocket before doing anything that would benefit the people. That's 괏ᴜᴜ Michael. Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening,
You're welcome. I can barely hear you. Can you change your location a bit?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Crystal clear. Go on, Mr. Joshua.
Okay, bro, is it possible for you to be a child and expect him or her not to cry?
It's tough. It's difficult. It's unfair.
So we should expect all these governments to cry, because one, it's almost as if you are taking influence from them. Respect, you are taking it from them. You know, legal responsibility, you are taking it away from them. And again, more financial capacity, you are taking it from them. Expect them to cry. You know, even Oga Ayoshe that is crying, I think he has some interest. That is the reason why he's crying. Because one, of course, you are not in government. You should know how important this particular achievement, judicial achievement, is to we the masses. So it is a good thing, and we should celebrate it while it lasts. For now, you know, at least we are now seeing governors trying to conduct elections. You know, good one for Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. I can still squeeze in one more call. We say our goodbyes by 5:30. Let me talk to Ambassador Musbao. Hello, good evening.
Opeyemi, how was your weekend?
Well, I'm hoping the next one will come so quick. You're welcome.
Take it easy now. Yeah, Opeyemi. You know, for me, I think although your judiciary come to play a big role in this, but to me, the constitution needs to play more big role. I think if we can reorganize our constitution by the National Assembly. Look, I'm still telling you now, the local government are still in habit of the governor, because the constitution did not give INEC role to play in conduct election. It's the governor. They still have the knife and the yam and more to the people again. Now, if local government are able to receive their funds direct, what are you and I need to do is to hold them accountable. The office is there for you and I to go ask, how do you manage your budget? We can do it. But if we, the people, did not go and knock the door of the local government chairman, it still remain the same, because local government choose their politicians like a governor. Look, Opeyemi, they are the same thing with the governor. They would like to use their way with the money. But you and I put them on their toes. That's the cocoa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, you hold the local government chairman accountable, the local government chairman accountable. It's not like the current situation does not allow us to hold them accountable. There are local government chairmen, democratically elected chairmen that get huge amount of money every month. Have we held them accountable? Even the ones that were caretaker committee chairmen, have we also held them accountable? So I understand, some form of, withdrawn excitement that a lot of people are expressing, because at the end of the day, the governors will still choose the state independent electoral committee,
But if you touch people's money, local government money that we don't supposed to touch, it's illegal. And that's how I want to appeal to EFCC to satisfy with any governor, with any type of local government who allow his money to go to state governor. If the state governor have immunity,
thank you,
but after 4 years, be dry.
Thank you, Prince. And you too, I have to let you go. And of course, we've come to the end of the program. Thank you so much to the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication from Plateau State, Honorable Musa Ashoms, for joining us. Tomorrow is another big day. 1 to 3 p.m. is midweek politics. Victor, myself and Said I would also be here to take you through the world of politics. And by 4 o'clock tomorrow, join Sig Babalola. By 6, I will be back today for Sport Cruise. Gary Southgate has said his goodbyes to the Three Lions. Where next should they turn to? Stay with us on Milan 98.3 FM.
Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial. 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial.
This is the Global News on 98.3 Mainland FM.